older, maybe 18 is probably too young. But yeah, we're seeing Jersey City and, of course, Hoboken and some of our other urban settings get a new life. Even Newark has sort of a new energy to it and new investment. It's a positive trend.
It's really a generational thing. I mean, preceding generation didn't have to worry about price of gasoline, the effect of emissions, and everybody was crowded. There was a need to move away and to not be jammed in. Yeah, there were people who stayed because I don't need a car. That's the thinking that's going on too now. I don't need a car. I can just hop the train, hop the bus, hop whatever, and get where I'm going. So, and they're more connected. They can walk to where they want to get to. That's what Don Guardian's trying to do in Atlantic City. He's trying to create a city of neighborhoods where you can get everything you need within walking distance. You don't have to go anywhere else.
Right. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that is even some of the latest developments in Jersey City are using the micro, they call it sort of the micro apartment, micro units, right? A little smaller. The bed, actually, you pull it down, it folds back up during the day to make more living space. They have common areas that are on the roof that are grassy and intended to be places to recreate. I don't know. It's a fascinating trend that we're seeing. So I guess looping back to your original, I mean, we have plenty of challenges, not dismissing that, but I think people also need to be aware that we're way better off than we were back in 2007, 8, and 9. And we're moving all in the right direction. And hopefully we keep doing the right things and that economic growth will continue and speed up a little.
One of the things that affects job creation is the amount that people are paid per hour. And there's that ongoing tug of war. The minimum wage went up, $1, I think, and now it's staying at $1 this cycle. But
Yep.
Any higher, and all of a sudden you have small and medium business owners going, well, I can't do that. Then I'm going to have to cut some jobs. And pretty soon everybody's working part-time for minimum wage. So they don't get benefits either. So is there a happy medium in that? Is there a way to balance that?
Well, it was a constitutional amendment that tied the minimum wage to the consumer price index. So, no. I mean, our hands are tied. The Constitution was amended to provide those increases as the CPI went up. And at the time, the debate was pretty heated, both sides. And my colleagues on the other side of the aisle advanced the legislation despite the concerns that were voiced by small business owners in particular. I think larger corporations, not that they won't take it into consideration, but this is really about the mom and pops that are trying to make the ends meet. And it's not that they don't want to pay their employees more, but health benefits and the cost of salaries and so forth, it puts them in a difficult spot.
Well, it puts them in a heck of a bind.
Yeah.
And so, but they are the fulcrum on which a lot of the economy rests too.
Oh yeah, I think if my memory is right, it's high 70%. I think it is a little bit more than 70% of all of our jobs are created by small businesses in the state of New Jersey, and I think that's repeated across the country. Yeah, it's a real concern.
And right here in our backyard, up at Fort Monmouth, we have a massive opportunity for tremendous business growth. What are you hearing about? Anything good?
Great news. So, Fort Monmouth, right now, today, as we all sit, has 65% of its land, which is 1,100 acres of land, either sold, leased, or out to bid right now. And the Department of Defense, of course, they are helping sort of oversee what goes on there because the Army vacated and they're have an oversight role. He said it is the most successful BRAC closing they've ever seen. So it's a little, for me, that's a little like backhanded compliment because, of course, we're over the fact that they closed Fort Monmouth, but I guess the positive is we have ComVault, we have AccuCare in the old Patterson Hospital. We have a new housing complex being built by Lennar. We have the marina that was leased out and a new restaurant put in there, and the golf course is out to bid. And sort of as we go through all of the activity, it's good news. Lots of new jobs and lots of positive for Monmouth and Ocean County.
That's fantastic. And I noticed that. I mean, I've been through Wrightstown. I was through Bayonne, Plattsburgh, New York. Every one of these places went through such a severe depression. I did not see that happen anywhere in Middletown or anywhere around. Tinton Falls, all the Eatontown, everything was pretty much staying intact. People weren't leaving in droves. It was, and a lot of credit goes to the people on that Economic Redevelopment Authority.
I agree. Good leadership, good board members, and lots of vision and lots of marketing themselves, because that's kind of what it takes. I mean, people, if they don't know about it, they can't come invest.
We're going to have to step away, and when we come back,
Sure.
we're going to get into Superstorm Sandy and all of the work that you did to get everybody back on their feet. We'll be back with Senator Jennifer Beck in a minute. Stay with us and give us a call. Talk to her yourself.
Let Capitol Hill know what's on your mind. Call 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Tune in to Luz Catigna, certified financial planner and host of The Financial Physician every Friday at 9 a.m. on News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. During these stressful times, it's more important than ever to keep informed about the economy, financial markets, investments, and income taxes. He'll take your phone calls and answer questions on any money matter. You'll hear no-nonsense, straightforward financial advice and commentary. So make an appointment with your financial physician every Friday at 9 a.m. right here on News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Stay tuned for an amazing surprise sale from Pro Flowers. Are you predictable? When was the last time you surprised someone with something totally unexpected? At Pro Flowers, we think predictability is boring. Surprises are exciting. So we're making it easy for you to be unpredictable by offering our best-selling 100 blooms for just $19.99. Plus, we're giving away a free glass vase with every order. These 100 stunning blooms are bursting with color. Imagine the look on their face when 100 beautiful flowers arrive from you, out of the blue. Be unpredictable. Be spontaneous. Sometimes the best reason to send flowers is for no reason at all. But hurry, because this incredible deal ends this Friday. 100 colorful blooms with a free glass vase for just $19.99. The only way to get this amazing deal is to visit proflowers.com. Click on the blue radio microphone in the upper right corner and enter the secret code 8585. That's proflowers.com, secret code 8585.
The giant technological step which the scientists of Bell Laboratory and the National Aeronautics and Space Administration have made possible.
This is Paul Rotella of the New Jersey Broadcasters Association.
And Ray Zardetto of the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce, here to celebrate Jersey innovation stories.
In 1945, when spaceflight was more fiction than fact, famed sci-fi novelist Arthur C. Clarke wrote a truly visionary article describing how artificial satellites could provide television and microwave coverage to the whole planet.
2 years later, John Pierce of Bell Laboratories in Murray Hill wrote a paper showing how to make Clarke's vision a reality. The combined vision of Clarke and Pierce gave birth to Telstar, the world's first communications satellite.
Telstar was launched by NASA in 1962. Today, hundreds of artificial satellites float above Earth, providing everything from television signals to color photos of the outermost reaches of the cosmos.
New Jersey needs to remain an innovation leader. It's the best way to grow jobs and the economy. For more information on celebrating Jersey innovation, go to njchamber.com.
This message sponsored by the New Jersey State Chamber of Commerce, the New Jersey Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Is agonizing hip pain slowing you down and keeping you from the activities you enjoy? CV Orthopedics is pleased to offer a new treatment option that may be right for you, called Makoplasty, only available through their Barnegat office. Makoplasty Hip is an innovative new total hip replacement procedure using advanced robotic arm technology and is typically covered by Medicare. For more on Makoplasty Hip or to schedule an appointment to find out if Makoplasty is the right option for you, call the CV Orthopedics Barnegat office today at 609-488-3988 or visit cvuortho.com.
Your voice can be heard on Capitol Hill. Call 732-505-1160 or tweet your question at WOBM. This is Ask the Senator. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Welcome back. State Senator Jennifer Beck is our guest, friends, and you're invited to strike up a conversation with her here. In the meantime, we will be, we'll remind you that you can tweet your questions too, right on our Twitter page. One of the things that Senator Beck was extremely proactive about were the problems immediately after Sandy and then the ones that followed down the line. You just introduced a bill which deals directly with the RREM program and the susceptibility to fraud. It holds accountability in several areas. I'd like you to go over those points because I think everybody should hear this.
Sure. So I have 17 towns in Monmouth County, and I share an office with Assemblyman O'Scanlan that has, I think he's got 11 towns in Monmouth. And between the two of us, we pretty much have the vast majority of towns that were impacted by Sandy. So we probably have dealt with close to 400 homeowners throughout the course of the last almost 3 years. And based on that and the complaints and the problems that we saw with REM, I put this bill together. And some of it is pretty basic and some of it is new thinking. But some people come to me and say, well, aren't you a little late? Well, actually, no. We have about, of the 8,000 people that have signed promissory notes and are going through the REM program, about 7,000 of them are just in the midst of construction now. So, yeah, it sounds crazy, but hey, HUD, so there's lots of people to blame. HUD just got us our last round of federal money this past April of 2015. First time they've given out money in tranches. In the past, they just gave a big lump sum. This time they parsed it out, caused us to slow down. And then, of course, there's state, local, federal government, utilities trying to coordinate all of them. For anyone that's been through REM, some of the challenges. But one of the major things this bill does, it allows the Department of Community Affairs to have new powers under the Consumer Fraud Act. The vast majority of the 7,000 homeowners that are going through REM have picked what's called Pathway B. And Pathway B just simply means I pick my own contractor. The state of New Jersey doesn't pick them. I pick them and hire them. That's great. But the only problem is when you do that, the state is limited in what it can do if the contractor isn't living up to their contract. In many ways, the state has to say to the homeowner, well, because you're contracted with them, not the state, you got to go hire your own attorney and sue them. And none of our survivors of that hurricane have money to hire an attorney. So this problem, and especially when it's not criminal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, it's criminal. Emotionally, it's criminal what some people have gone through. Contractors taking money, signing a contract, and then disappear for 8 months. Don't come back, do no work on the house, don't even bother to pull the permits. These people are out renting an apartment, trying to pay a mortgage in a rental. It's, to me, emotionally it's criminal, but it is not under the law criminal.
It's a civil case.
It's a civil case. So you can't, the prosecutor can't help you. The Attorney General can't help you. The Division of Consumer Affairs can't really help. So we expanded just uniquely for the individuals in the REM and the LMI program, because this is a natural disaster recovery effort, that the Department of Community Affairs will be able to go after bad actors, bad contractors, if they're not meeting their timelines, if they're not building to code, if they in any way have put forward something that's fraudulent. They can be fined, they can be debarred, and they can be kicked out of the state of New Jersey and not allowed to do work here again. To me, we have to. Because of, as I said, there's 8,000 roughly homeowners in the program. About 7,300 hired their own contractor. Only 700 went through the state program because, for many reasons, it was messy and slow, I would say. So that's one small piece of it. I worked on this with the long-term recovery people here in Ocean County, the Department of Community Affairs, with several hundred homeowners that came through my office with complaints, were really the ones that educated us on the failures of the REM program. And I'm only giving you a smidgen of the bill, but I know, I don't want to bore everyone to tears, but I'm happy to share.
I'm sure there are people hanging on every word of
Okay.
this. If you've got more, I'd like to get back to that.
Sure.
We're going to step out for a brief break here and catch up on what's going on in the world. And then we're going to come back and continue that discussion. And if you have questions about this bill, or maybe you've been through some fraud experiences, give us a call. We just had another one today. A Barnegat contractor has been charged with theft. He took $92,000, according to the prosecutor, and never got any job done, right down the street here. And this is 4 days after two guys in Stafford, same thing. Yeah. So this has been going, now we're in the hundreds with these guys. And a lot of them are in other parts of the country. But this bill allows the Department of Community Affairs to take a stronger hand in that. We're going to step out, and then we'll be back, and we'll look for your calls too, so stay with us.
Let Capitol Hill know what's on your mind. Call 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
This is Marianne Levy, News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Broadcast from the Preferred Home Healthcare Studio. Since 1987, Preferred has offered the highest degree of care. Preferred Home Healthcare with feeling.
The Jersey Shore's news leader. Listen online at WOBMAM.com and on the Radio Pup app for smartphones and tablets. News Talk Radio.
1160 and 1310 WOBM.
It's all too much. Money's tight, and I just don't know how I'm going to pay my mortgage.
If you're having trouble paying your mortgage, you need to get the facts. A housing counselor in your area can help you understand your options. Certified by the federal government, counseling is completely free. Don't wait, get the facts. Find your counselor at njhousing.gov/foreclosure. That's njhousing.gov/foreclosure.
This message sponsored by the New Jersey Housing Mortgage Finance Agency, the New Jersey Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Stay tuned for an amazing surprise sale from Pro Flowers. Stay tuned for an amazing surprise sale from Pro Flowers. Are you predictable? When was the last time you surprised someone with something totally unexpected? At Pro Flowers, we think predictability is boring. Surprises are exciting. So we're making it easy for you to be unpredictable by offering our best-selling 100 blooms for just $19.99. Plus, we're giving away a free glass vase with every order. These 100 stunning blooms are bursting with color. Imagine the look on their face when 100 beautiful flowers arrive from you, out of the blue. Be unpredictable. Be spontaneous. Sometimes the best reason to send flowers is for no reason at all. But hurry, because this incredible deal ends this Friday. 100 colorful blooms with a free glass vase for just $19.99. The only way to get this amazing deal is to visit proflowers.com. Click on the blue radio microphone in the upper right corner and enter the secret code 8585. That's proflowers.com, secret code 8585.
Get it all! Get it all! Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
Satisfied customers, straight to the point.
They just make you feel so good. They were just fabulous. They've been absolutely unbelievable.
I'm very satisfied.
No smoke and mirrors.
Sales and service just the way you like it.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
There will be some breaks in the clouds through the evening and overnight hours, with the low dropping down to 46 degrees, and then a sunny day tomorrow with a high reaching 64. A front will push through, producing a few isolated showers early on Friday, then some breaks in the clouds during the afternoon with a high near 67. It's certainly going to feel more like fall during the weekend as some cool and dry air settles in behind the departing front. Sunshine on Saturday and Sunday with highs in the low to mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
1160 and 1310 WOBM.
From Ocean County to our nation's capital, talk to your senator right now. 732-505-1160. Follow the show on Twitter and tweet your questions to @WOBM. Ask the Senator on News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 and WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back Tom Mangelli with you, and with us, State Senator Jennifer Beck, and she can entertain a call or two from you. We left off with the fraud protection bill for REM people that you've just introduced. Do you anticipate a kind of a quick trip through the committee on this and onto a vote, or?
Oh, I hope so. I mean, I've asked the Senate President, Steve Sweeney, to be my co-prime on the bill. It's called the Sandy Homeowners Protection Act. And, you know, some of the stuff in the bill people are going to say is pretty basic, but we've just had enough complaints about it. Like, everyone gets a housing advisor to help them with their paperwork, and everyone gets a project manager that's supposed to be overseeing how the federal grant money is spent on their house. But everyone said, you know, project manager, it sounds like someone that's running the project. So many homeowners turn to the project manager for help. And the project managers haven't said, well, that's not what I was hired for. I'm just supposed to make sure you're not spending the money the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
So the bill requires the project managers step up their game, that they have to come and visit the site at least 3 times. They've got to come initially while the project's underway, and when the project reaches its conclusion, they've got to meet the contractor the homeowner hired. That at any time that the homeowner wants to meet the project manager has to do so within 5 business days. They've got to return phone calls within 24 hours. They have to return emails within 24 hours. And if there's any change in the REM program, they have to notify homeowners within 24 hours. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times the specifics were changed between HUD and the state of New Jersey, and everybody knew except for the grantees.
Mm-hmm.
So it's insanity. So the other piece of this, the other thing that's happened quite a few times is project managers have left. Either they quit, they were fired, housing advisors leave, they're fired, whatever it is. No one tells the homeowner. So they're calling this person again and again and again and again, and no one's answering.
Mm-hmm.
And they're thinking, well, I don't know, maybe they're just busy, right?
Right.
So this bill is going to require that at the time someone resigns or is fired or whatever it is, within 24 hours the homeowner has to be notified, and within 5 business days that individual has to be replaced, and the homeowner has to be, you know, contacted and given the new person's name. It's so basic, it's insane. But it's been enough, you know, we've dealt with a lot of cases, and some of this communication is where the problems are.
Yeah. This focus of yours extends far beyond this. You were on the problems when they first started erupting, when we had gas lines. You started that ball rolling to get the fuel going. Just this during Hurricane, just
Right.
before it came, Governor Christie sped his signature onto that bill that allows gas station owners to vary their prices when they run out of regular, which was huge.
Huge.
I couldn't believe it took that long to get that thing signed.
I know. But yeah, so we all that were certainly in Monmouth and Ocean County, we all remember this well, where we're waiting in the gas line. You get up to the pump, they ran out of regular, and now they're charging you for super or plus or whatever, and essentially gouging people that are in the middle of a natural disaster. And it wasn't their fault. They weren't legally allowed to sell it at the lower
Right.
price. So we had to change the law, which the governor just recently signed. And, you know, another, you know, just a small thing for what, if it ever should happen, hopefully it never happens again, but if it ever should, that we're better prepared, that we learned from what happened to us all.
You know, and to be fair, it really was a small percentage of gas station operators who went that route and started basically holding people up for gasoline. But what I saw more of during that whole experience, and I think you saw it too, was especially in the first 24 to 48 hours, it was kind of like, okay, we're all in this together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are we going to do? You know, it was not like, somebody help me. It was like, what are we going to do? You know, and I saw people working together in ways I wasn't used to seeing. I saw people communicating in ways I had forgotten about. We don't do that every day. But now all of a sudden everybody's in the convenience store by the coffee urn, which is the only thing that's working because he's the only guy with a generator. And, all of a sudden people are talking to each other and we're comparing notes and like, what happened to you? And, hey, did you see that the wires are down? Like people were trading information and getting informed in the most basic ways.
Right.
If there was a way to bottle that.
I know.
Well,
I think we all have our differences. We all have our individual opinions, but when push comes to shove and we face something like that, we're shoulder to shoulder, and that's New Jersey.
You think Governor Christie's he's gotten a short shrift for how he kind of became identified with the storm and what role it took after that? Did that commercial? Do you think he got a little bit too much beaten up over that, or do you think
over the commercial?
Yeah.
I thought the commercial was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I know many won't agree with me, but I didn't have a problem with the commercial. I mean, we were trying to communicate about what was going on with our recovery and trying to also give people some emotional support that we're not forgetting and we're gonna fix it. And we are 3 years later. I can tell you my office, it is our number one priority, is to get people back home. I mean, what can I do as a state senator that's more important than getting people back home? And that's, I have a great team. I'm fortunate that these young people are as committed as I am to this. But look, I think if you drive around up and down the shore, so there are a lot of construction going on. Yes. There are houses going up in the air. Yes. Are the programs perfect? Absolutely not. But are we miles ahead of New York City? Yes. I mean, I was in Rockaway this summer. Do you know they haven't elevated one house?
Not yet?
Not one.
They got a lot of them, too.
Not one.
Wow.
So, I guess the upside for us, we got a $1.4 billion housing program. We've got almost 8,000 people that have signed grant documents. We have 7,400 people that have received their first payment and are in the middle of construction. And we have a group that's done, or a group that's close to being done, that's waiting on their final payment. And right now, I think we said we've got about 50 homes a week are being completed is the last number I saw. But hey, we're all frustrated. It's year 3, and it wasn't as smooth as we had hoped. But
no,
it's happening.
And you have to admit, we hadn't been through something like that in many, many years.
Right.
And during that ensuing period, since maybe '62, when it was a giant one, and all those years, technology advanced, the pace of life advanced, things went at such rapid speed.
Right. And
we became a culture that is used to seeing things wrapped up neatly in a half hour and off to the next thing, 128 characters, the whole 9 yards. I mean, like we've gotten used to that pace. And so when it's not happening at that pace, we don't understand that. Second obstacle is the blame game. It's the governor's fault. No, it's FEMA's fault. No, it's DEP's fault. No, it's DCA's fault. And there are all these moving parts that all have a role and to some extent have that accountability, but you can't point the finger at any one of these things and say, this is where the problem is. Third obstacle, a lot of people have to have invoices in order to get those grants. You have to have paid the money in order to get it back. And this is where a lot of people are still having trouble because they're paying rent, they're paying a mortgage, they're paying their expenses for the house, raising the kids and all that business, and they have to they have to at least get a down payment down so they can show that they're getting work done in order to receive the money.
So we did change that, Tom. I just, so you know, that changed. We got a lot of complaints on that. That's changed. So you can get up to 50% of your grant up front. And then, of course, you've got to demonstrate that money was spent rebuilding the house and show all your invoices for the work done before you can get the next piece of your grant. But
At least you get a leg up now. That's
you get yes, because that was a universal, that was a hue and cry, and rightfully, so that's been changed.
great. And you're aware of what DCA has just done with the A zones. And they follow the International Building Code upgrades so that everybody in an A zone who hasn't started yet now has to build to V zone specifications, which is higher and probably costlier. There are stipulations in here that if you've already begun building, there are provisions for you. If you've got your plans together but you haven't started building yet, there's another issue for you. There's a 6-month window to get yourself organized with that if you haven't started yet, to get your permits.
Yeah, I'll look into that. Something doesn't sound right about that. FEMA has something called firm maps, which are flood insurance rate maps, which are different from the maps that establish your base flood elevation, right? So if you're in an A zone or an AE or a V or an X or whatever. So the problem we have right now is that we have preliminary firm maps, and those preliminary maps don't take effect until next June, which means that in some cases, if you were in the past in, say, a V zone, and you now will be in a lesser zone, an AE, where you don't have to use helical pilings and so forth and so on, that you still have to build to the V zone standard because the new map hasn't been adopted. So that I'm well aware of, but that is not driven by DCA. That's driven by FEMA. And, I've taken it to our congressmen, both Smith and Pallone, and the truth is you would have to change the federal law. They don't allow you to build to a lesser standard because the maps haven't been adopted yet, which is there's many ways that this is insane. And one of them is that if you are a REM grantee, you're now going to have to do more expensive construction. So you're going to have to build to the V standard, even though in a year from now, you wouldn't have had to build that standard and you wouldn't have needed all that money. So we're using more grant money than we need to, which means that there's not as much to go around, right? So I'm sorry if I'm getting too complicated. But
No, I'm following.
anyone that happens to be listening that has either an issue with REM or with Sandy and needs help, please don't hesitate to call my legislative office. I'm going to tell you my team is excellent. They're smart. They're educated. They know these programs. My office number is 732-933-1591. But if you look up Senator Jennifer Beck online, you can find it in about 5 seconds.
Yeah,
So.
can you email too?
Of course. It follows the same protocol that every state senator has, which is sen, S-E-N, and my last name, Beck, B-E-C-K, at njleg.org. So, but that's all online. If people don't have to scurry around to write it because they can just look me up online.
And you have the office on Main Street in Red Bank, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. 32 Monmouth Street in Red Bank. Yep.
Yeah, nice layout.
Great. I love my town. That's my hometown, Red Bank. So I love my hometown.
Yeah. Now, how many times have you been to the Count Basie Theater since you've been there?
Oh, hundreds. Yeah, the Count Basie
Before it was the Count Basie Theater, right?
Oh, yeah. I've been there, a lot. And if people haven't had a chance to go check it out, they should see. We've got a lot of great acts coming through Red Bank over the fall, winter season. So, yeah.
In fact, there's a major announcement coming out of there, and I don't know what it is yet, but Steve Van Zandt and his wife are in charge of this thing. And this is coming up in a couple of weeks, so we're going to have to check that out. I hope it's something musical.
Yeah. I'm sure it will be.
Red Bank's a wonderful town.
Yeah.
And it's still easy to find parking.
Oh, well, the parking issue. I'm a local, so I kind of know where all the nooks and crannies are. If you don't mind walking a little bit, parking isn't so bad. It's just everybody wants to be on Broad Street, right? So that makes it tougher.
And you're sharing that office with Declan?
Yeah, so as people probably know, every decade after the census, or maybe you don't know, the legislature, the state legislature, and the federal representatives get new districts based on the census numbers because we're supposed to have roughly the same number. We're all supposed to represent roughly the same number. For the state legislature, we're supposed to each have about 220,000 residents, and for congressmen, it's 600,000. So Declan and I shared a legislative district for several years, for 4 years, and then we got redistricted. But we were sharing an office. So despite the fact that we are now in different legislative districts, we just kept our office together.
Works out well.
It does work out well. He's a good friend, and he's a great representative for his district. And
the two of you
a
are
fighter.
The two of you are alphas. There's no doubt about it. So I don't know how you manage to stay in the same room at the same time.
Oh, we're good friends. You know, we have a lot of laughs.
That's good.
You know, along the way. We don't always agree, but
we're going to let you take your senator hat off for a little while when we come back, okay? And just be Jen Beck a little bit. All
sure.
right? You're welcome to call. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stick around, please.
Call now, 732-505-1160. Ask the Senator continues next. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
It's all too much. Money's tight, and I just don't know how I'm going to pay my mortgage.
If you're having trouble paying your mortgage, you need to get the facts. A housing counselor in your area can help you understand your options. Certified by the federal government, counseling is completely free. Don't wait. Get the facts. Find your counselor at njhousing.gov/foreclosure. That's njhousing.gov/foreclosure.
This message sponsored by the New Jersey Housing Mortgage Finance Agency, the New Jersey Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Get it all! Get it all! Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
Satisfied customers, straight to the point.
They just make you feel so good. They were just fabulous. They've been absolutely unbelievable.
I'm very satisfied.
No smoke and mirrors.
Sales and service just the way you like it.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
Is there someone you know in need of home health care? Make sure the agency you select is licensed, bonded, and insured. Preferred Home Health Care only uses certified home health aides and licensed nurses, providing hourly and 24-hour live-in services, pediatric to adult care. Call 1-800-603-CARE or visit preferredcares.com. Preferred Home Health Care and Nursing Services. Home health care with feeling.
I preferred home health care. You're in preferred company.
Listen to News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 on the go with Radio Pup, the free mobile app that puts your favorite artists right at your fingertips. Powered by AutoLenders.com. Stay connected to the latest music, news, and weather information right from your smartphone. To get Radio Pup for free, head to RadioPup.com or download it in the iTunes Store or Android Marketplace. Powered by AutoLenders.com. There's never been a better time to check out all the low mileage, one owner, certified cars at AutoLenders. See the full selection at AutoLenders.com or at any of their 6 New Jersey locations.
Did you know that the average cost for a family of 4 to attend a professional baseball game is over $200? At the same time, over 40% of all sports, concert, and theater tickets go unsold. So how come we're all paying so much when so many seats go empty? I'm Adam Canner, founder of ScoreBig.com. We found a way to work directly with teams and venues to get their unsold seats and pass the huge savings on to you. On ScoreBig.com, we guarantee you'll save on great sports, concert, and theater tickets. And we're not talking about last-minute nosebleed seats to events you don't want to see, but millions of great seats for the best events, days, weeks, even months in advance. On ScoreBig.com, when you successfully name a ticket price, on average, you'll save over 33% below box office price each time you buy, with no added fees or shipping charges ever. There are lots of places to buy tickets, but if you really want to save, then check out ScoreBig.com.
And now save even more at ScoreBig.com. Click on the radio mic and enter code 1010, and we'll take an additional $20 off your ticket purchase. That's ScoreBig.com, promo code 1010.
Keep the questions coming. Call now, 732-505-1160. Follow the show on Twitter and tweet your questions at WOBM. Ask the Senator continues now on News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 and WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Have a few more minutes with State Senator Jennifer Beck. We've been grilling her pretty good on the Superstorm Sandy and all of the bills that she got through there, and a couple of the things that have been affecting the state. One thing I want to get to before the time runs out, though, is our roads and bridges and the Transportation Trust Fund. We can't go a day without hearing about how it's running out of money. And when Senator Thompson was in here a month ago, he really didn't deny that we're circling around that gas tax hike. I mean, he didn't say yes and he didn't say no, which tells me, okay, looks like it's coming. So my question is there any other way?
Well, I've been pretty vocal in my opposition to a new gas tax, to increasing it. We are looking at everything. We are spreadsheeting all kinds of options. We have the smartest people in the room that understand the intricacies of our transportation issue and understand the intricacies of our funding obligations, because we can't really look at just the Transportation Trust Fund and renewing it without also looking at our obligation to fund public pensions, with our obligation to fund our K through 12 schools, without, looking at our higher education community. And so I'm going to say that there's a lot of very smart people that are examining every option. What I can tell people for certainty is it will be renewed. There is there's no chance that we have no Transportation Trust Fund and we just say, oh, heck with it. Just let the roads, that's not happening. There will be an answer. There will be a solution. And it will be voted on, and we'll have a new 5-year plan. But what form it takes, I think, is still being examined by lots of very bright people that understand the state's fiscal issues and how we can best work this out, because it's a $1.6 billion program annually each year. So,
and the pension fund, that's huge. This affects so many people, not just now, but for decades to come. There are people who haven't retired yet who are depending on that. What happens now is going to affect them later. So this has to be something that's...
I mean, the state of New Jersey has a moral obligation to public employees to figure it out. I mean, we committed to people that spent 20, 30 years of their lives in a job with the promise of a certain retirement, despite the fact that I think we see a lot of press stories about some of the
payouts,
some of the bad people who've manipulated the system to really enrich themselves in a way that's crazy. The vast majority of public employees don't get that kind of a pension. That said, we don't have the money right now. I mean, it's a maybe close to $80 billion issue if you take a pension and the healthcare liability. For sure, we're going to have to deal with the generosity of our health benefits. I mean, the federal government will penalize the state of New Jersey somewhere around $780 million because we offer such a generous health plan to our public employees. Yeah. We will have to pay a penalty. So that's a driver. I mean, we're gonna have to fix that for sure. And I think some of that savings, when we do fix it, will be driven back into funding the pension.
All that considered, what the heck do you do to relax?
Oh, wow, that was a left field. I wasn't expecting that. I have been running
I know
for
you're
exercise
an avid runner.
Since I was 9 or 10, for a long time. And my husband always laughs at me because I always say, yeah, sometimes running for me is just like walking. You know, I'm just, it's just, I'm used to it.
You're
and
in
I've
the
been doing
zone.
it for so long. And for me, that clears my mind and puts my body at ease. And
get some endorphins pumping into that brain.
Yeah, and it alleviates a lot of stress. And it is really what I do to relax. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's sort of it's a passion.
Now we're almost done, but I just want to ask you, we're gonna lose the governor eventually, whether he becomes president or just has to get out. Who's on the horizon? You thinking about it?
Oh, I am not thinking about it.
That's too bad.
Certainly, our Lieutenant Governor Kim Guadagno is interested, and she's proven to be an excellent number 2 for Governor Christie. She's a former Monmouth County sheriff, former prosecutor, smart, capable, and she knows state government well after being there for the last 6 years. So I know she's interested.
Lieutenant governor.
I am really happy in the state senate. I'll be staying. I intend to, if the voters are so kind to reelect me in 2017. I hope to stay where I'm at.
Thanks for coming in tonight.
Certainly. Thanks for having me, Tom.
Town Square Tonight and Ask the Senator are presentations of the Shore News Division of Town Square Media, New Jersey. Our producer is Zach Collins. Our video coordinators are Tom Tremblay and Bradley James. And our digital coordinator is Bradley James, along with Dan Alexander. Programming consultant Steve Arlina, and the Vice President of Town Square Media New Jersey News Operations is Eric Scott. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.